Hey everyone, we'll be starting in a moment. I am just getting everything set up. Those. There. 2. There. Connection seems good. Voice is being picked up. We're good. Hi everyone. Welcome to another stream of Ace Attorney Investigations Collection 2. Today we are continuing with the case of the Taurasaurus, or the Moozilla as I like calling him, because I think it's a better word than Taurasaurus, because that just sounds like a dinosaur. But yeah, we are currently in the past through the use of Mr. Thief, or whatever his name was, which belongs to Kay. We are currently looking at an orphanage that used to stand where the big building is currently, and we are looking at the planters, because one of the things there have been dug with evidence inside it, but we don't know which planter, because the one that was dug up first were the ones that were on the movie scene, which created the hoof prints, because Winner was searching for something. Whether it's a body, whether it's a piece of evidence, we don't know yet, but we're continuing to look. We are currently in the second part of that, where we're looking at the moment that the president was held at gunpoint. Little Thief, there we go, not Mr. Thief. Why did I say Mr. Thief? But yes, hi, Rufferton. We are currently in that second part. We're trying to figure out what happened then, and we're also looking at all the evidence. We had just got to that point, so we didn't really start that point yet, but we're going to do that today. Other than that, we're currently trying to prove to Lang that a 13-year-old didn't kill someone, and if he did, it was probably completely accidental. But yeah, we're going to see what we can learn today, so without further ado, let's get straight to it. I think we might have a bit more left to do after this, regardless. So we might not finish it today, depending, but who knows? Hey, Matt, welcome. You got here just as we started. Nice timing. Oh, whoops. Every time. Freaking chat. Refresh. SS5 time. Yes, it is. Alright, showing up on there. Connection seems good. Voice is being picked up. Everything seems good. Alright, let's do this. Continue. Yes. Here we are. What do you got to say? Nothing. I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Snowman. Hey, that's Snowman. It was murder in the simulation on the morning after the murder, right? And that muffler was wet and all its little button eyes have fallen off? Indeed. It still looked reasonably healthy at this point. Although not entirely, I can see one thing that's missing. Oh, poor guy. I bet some kid took it as a stupid prank. I'm gonna destroy that kid, who is probably an adult by now. Not a bad piece of thieving, though. Maybe they had potential. You'd think one of the orphans took it. I'm not so sure. In fact, I think it was grabbed by somebody else entirely. Dijong Wang. He was president of Zhengfa even back then. Does he look any younger? It's kind of dark. Can't really tell. In tune of Frozen. Do you want to kill a snowman? I have to be careful with that. Even if it's even a hint of the original song, I'll probably get copyright because of Disney. Indeed, and the situation being what it is, his facial expression is somewhat distorted. I wonder why they took him after this. We don't know that yet, but depending on how our investigation progresses, we may find out soon enough. The president's kidnapper We should see if we can judge anything based on their appearance. Roger that, Red Leader. Alright, let's have a look at you. The first thing to note is that they're holding the president at gunpoint. Trying to look all cool and tough, waving a pistol around. Whoever it is, they suck. I mean, they're not wrong. Also, their feet are very thin. Are they sinking into the floor? Their coat and hat completely cover their face, so unfortunately we can't identify them that way. Hey, he dresses like Gregory Edgeworth, doesn't he? It was your father that killed him. Turn the collar up and all, pulling their hat down, trying to be all mysterious. I hate this kidnapper. And they seem pretty relaxed. I don't think they're particularly nervous. Yeah, hand in the pocket, classic show-off move. You suck, you suck, you suck. Okay, that's... What? You said to judge them by their appearance? It's not as though I think they're really cool. Well, yes, but I didn't mean it like that. Could this be related to the evidence somehow? Eureka! This snowman is missing a certain something, wouldn't you say? Yeah, his right eye. Indeed. Luckily, we managed to locate it. The button Mr. Aldown was holding. Look at that! It's the same type of button as the other eye and everything. And if we suppose that the button was indeed the snowman's missing eye, that presents something of a contradiction. What does this button contradict? The victim's location, the snowman's location, the president's location. Why is the president and the victim a separate thing? They're the same thing. Unless they mean the guy. The victim was clutching the button, and the button was covered with his blood. Which means he must have grabbed it after being attacked. Let's run a little hypothetical, shall we? What if, after being struck, Mr. Aldown lost his balance and reached out to grab something to steady himself? The snowman. The snowman wouldn't have supported him, so he would have grasped the button and continued falling. I get it. I don't get it. So you're saying that he was near the snowman when he was attacked? I am, within reach to be precise. And he's currently nowhere near that close. Right, but its footprints go as far as the planter. He never came back this way. What if they weren't his footprints? I think we need to look at all the prints again. Alright, I'll take us back to the scene when Mr. Aldown's body was found. Gotta do the animation, can't just watch. But the footprints on the left definitely match with Mr. Aldown's shoe, right? So what's the deal? Let's take another look and see if we can figure it out. Can we really be sure that these are Mr. Aldown's footprints? Well, they're the same size, a 12, which is pretty big. The prints match his shoes. They also go straight to the middle of the planter where his body was found. But as we've established, when he was attacked, he fell and grabbed the button from the snowman. Well, being a great thief, I know a few contortionist tricks that would be way beyond even me. He's a photographer, he's going to be even way more beyond him. Some average Joe stretching his arm that far? Basically impossible. Unless he's magic. I think we can be reasonably certain that the prints were made by the shoe the victim was wearing. But can we be certain that they were actually the victim's shoes? Perhaps we should take another look at them. I mean, you can clearly see they're kind of big for his feet. I must scour the scene. These shoes, as the case file says, they match the footprints, but... Huh, these aren't the victim's shoes, I'm sure of it. What do you mean? Look at how the laces are tied. Do they look a little strange to you? What's more, they don't appear to fit properly. Not actually Aldown's shoes. They appear to have been placed on the feet by the culprit after the murder took place. So these prints, they go right to where the victim was found and they stopped right by his feet. But they didn't actually belong to him. So are the prints by his head his? The ones that lead away and come back? No, I don't think so. They're too small. So neither set belongs to him? Then how did he get here? That's easy enough. He didn't walk. He flew. He was carried by the killer. So then, where did the murder take place? Was it really over by the snowman as we suspect? I think Mr. Aldown's body was moved. How else to explain the button clutched in his hand? And that would suggest that he was killed somewhere near the snowman. I'd better take a closer look. I must scour the scene and inspect all of the... Oh, whoops. Poor snowman. He's not looking good. Looks kind of sad. It can't be helped. Snow and ice eventually melt. That's just how it is. Except if you live in the Antarctic. But then again, it is slightly melting because we're ruining everything. And so do mysteries. All we have to do is wait. The snowman of the case will melt into the clear water of truth. All you have to do is wait, Kay. I have to work to solve these mysteries. There's a brick missing. So, there are planters outside the orphanage gates too. Oh look, they planted all the stuff and flowers in winter and all that snow. Indeed, a little frigid, but tasteful nonetheless, even if this is a simulation. Yes indeed, a bit frosty looking, but tasty nonetheless. For a simulation. Huh? Look, there's a brick missing here. And the rest of the brickwork looks fine. Strange that just one is missing. Size 9 footprints going towards the body and away from it. The case file says that they must have belonged to the murderer. They grow fainter as they got closer to the orphanage gates. That's just because there's less snow over there, no? But as it may... That as it may, it certainly doesn't help in matching the prints up with the name and face. That's why I didn't see it, because Franziska's literally in the way of it. I was like, why didn't I see that before? And they also might not have just drawn that. How do I switch again? I wanted to show you the scene as described in Mr. Aldown's voicemail, right? Okay, let's get another look at how things were when the president was kidnapped. And there we have it. Can we really be sure that these are Mr. Aldown's prints? Well, they're the same size, a 12, which is pretty big, and the prints match his shoes. They also go straight to the middle of the planter where his body was found. But as we've established, when he was attacked, he fell and grabbed the button from the snowman. I believe I've already talked about this. These planters... According to the case file, the yard stretched around 3 sides of the orphanage. And there were the 3 planters on each side. Yes, planters arranged in a very particular pattern. Once we've seen somewhere before, which we've already established. Shame there aren't many flowers, but I guess it was in the middle of winter. Yes, but look at that one. It's bright yellow. Weird, how come there's only one? Wait, it looks like somebody dropped it. Line lily, okay, we looked at this. Mr. Aldown took his picture of the president's kidnapping from here, and then called Rosie Ringer. By which point his killer must have already been approaching from behind, with a brick in their hand, ready to strike. So there shouldn't be any blood here. Just saying. It's a snowman, one eye missing, and it comes from one about to my shoulder. That's a soupy heavyweight contender right there. Those kids were messing around. And never mind its weight and size. I think we need some slightly more in-depth analysis here. Well, it has a bucket for a hat, buttons for eyes, a nice fluffy muffler, the full snowman uniform. And it looks like it can't wait for me to punch a kick into 1,000 tiny snowman pieces. Perhaps if we could keep things a little less subjective, Kay. It seems quite likely that the missing brick was the one used in the murder, wouldn't you say? Oh yeah, now that you mention it, that they're the exact same shape and size. Definitely not finishing today? Okay. I mean, I asked that ages ago, unless you're talking about something else. Are you saying I'm going too slow? I think we have to conclude that the murder actually happened over by the snowman. Right, the button came from there, and the brick too. Indeed, and what's more, if the murderer took the brick from the right by the snowman, and then tried to sneak upon the victim all the way over by the planters, Mr. Aura would have seen them right away. Exactly. I think we need to update the simulation, Kay. Mr. Aldan wasn't standing by the planters. He was next to the snowman. Wouldn't they have seen him, though, and wouldn't the picture be a lot closer? Gotcha. All right, here it goes. Oh, they would have changed positions. Yeah, no matter how you look at it, this just doesn't work, huh? Indeed. Everybody who was present is in exactly the same spot. So, where did we go wrong? One of the pieces of evidence on which we based our simulation must be the source of the problem. What if one of them was faked somehow? But which one was it? Obviously the picture. Can we really be certain that this picture was taken by Mr. Aldown? Huh? What do you mean? We know that whoever killed him moved his body, but why would they have done that? Or what if they wanted to make it seem like he saw something he didn't? And then they took the photo to help back up the lie? They had the president at gunpoint. They could have easily forced him to pose for the picture. He would have had no choice but to comply. Hey, now that you mention it, they only recovered one picture from Mr. Aldown's camera, right? Indeed. I imagine his killer probably removed the film that was already in there, and then replaced it with another, thereby ensuring that the only picture found was the one they staged. Yeah, that makes total sense. So this picture was actually taken after Mr. Aldown was killed? No way. And there you have it. The picture does what Mr. Aldown saw at all, doesn't show. It seems highly likely that it was simply staged to make us believe that was the case. Wait, so there was the president? Or where was the president Mr. Aldown thought he saw him being kidnapped? Luckily, the photograph isn't the only piece of evidence we use, or can use, to try and figure that out. Oh yeah, he left that voicemail too. He did. I think we should listen back to it one more time, don't you? This surely the only place where the president and his kidnapper could have been standing.
Take that!
That's where they really were? How do you figure that? Huh. Do I need a reason? What do you mean you don't have one? Or what do you mean? What? You mean you don't have one? Yeah, but that clearly wasn't it. Well, I had actually pressed the button when I had moved it, so... Not on me. Let's go. Mr. Aldown sent a message. Mentioned stuff that he could see, right? He did. Perhaps we could help figure out where they were standing.
Take that!
Here? Nope.
Take that!
I'm going crazy with this.
Take that!
Oh, because I didn't choose the right spot. Recall the statement of Mr. Aldown's voicemail. I'm trying to imagine the voice he would put down for this. Damn it! The four lights out! 2 of the lights here in the yard are broken. Yeah, you must have been taken about one of them over by the building. Alright, could you update the simulation to everything we've learned? Sure. And there we have it. Captain Apple was really standing over by the building. Yes, which would have certainly have strengthened the theory that they were connected to the orphanage. So they moved the body and staged the photograph to distort the picture painted by the voicemail. Which then helped them undermine the idea that the orphanage was involved, and the case went to trial. Well, that certainly changes what this particular part of the simulation tells us. I imagine it will also affect our understanding of the scene from when the body was found. Only one way to find out. Ready to take the jump? To switch between the 2 recreations, I need to first press Y to talk with K, and then select Switch Recreations. I'll give it a try later when I need it. I already did that. There's no mistaking it. This is where Mr. Aldown actually took his pictures. before being attacked by the murderer with a brick from the planter just behind him. After being attacked, he collapsed, grabbing the snowman's right eye as he fell, which means his body would have been here at first, and then not where we thought it was before? Indeed. We should examine the area where we previously thought he fell to. Mr. Aldon wasn't killed here between the planters at all. Then what was his blood doing here? Things have changed considerably in terms of what the simulation is showing us. But if we want to look more closely at this blood, I think we'll be able to begin to better looking at the simulation from a point at which the body was discovered. Then what are we waiting for? I'm ready to when you are. The switch between the recreations, I need to do that, but first let me look. There are burn marks on this pillar here. The report says that there was a fire somewhere on the evening of the incident. A fire? Let's see. Where was it again? Yeah, one of the orphans said fire was probably prank, whereas prank probably lively, blah blah blah. So this is when Mr. Aldon actually saw the president and his kidnapper? Yes. Which pretty clearly suggests a link between the kidnapping and the orphanage. You can see why so much trouble was taken to suggest that it happened elsewhere. Yeah, they pulled some really dirty tricks there. Faking a photo like that, that's just cheating. And not to mention disposing of Mr. Aldon's camera film and forcing the president to pose at gunpoint. They must have put in some new film and then staged a photo immediately afterward. And if Chairman Winner was involved, he could have changed or hidden other evidence as well. It certainly doesn't help that the SS5 case file was classified until recently. Yeah, but he's behind bars now, and the truth is coming out at last. Indeed, although much still remains unclear. We need to look very closely at the differences between this and the previous simulation. Yep, switch. And here we have it. So, this is where Mr. Aldon really met his fate. But he was moved in order to make the scene consistent with the staged photograph. Over to the spot between the planters. See the footprints? The fact that they go over there and come back. Yes, I think that tells us something important. That they were left by whoever carried him over here. I must scour the scene and clean it. Blood on the snow, a lot of it. It certainly looks as if a murder occurred here, doesn't it? Wait, but we just figured out that Mr. Aldon was killed over by the snowman, right? We did. I think this blood might belong to somebody else. What? But the police report said the blood was Mr. Aldon's. Need to remind you that the case was overseen by Chairman Winner, the man who would have had no such scruples about altering an official record over something this small. But then, why go to all that trouble? Couldn't he have just cleaned up the blood instead? He wasn't able to. Think about it. He knew that this was where the police would find Mr. Aldon's body, and he knew that the police would have been certain scientific methods at their disposal to look for clues. Oh, you mean luminol? Yeah, they would have had found traces of blood if they used that for sure. Exactly. He wouldn't have been able to clean it up to the point where it was undetectable. Far easier to falsify the results of any such tests when they came back in. It would have simply have been a matter of replacing the official records with a doctored copy. Yeesh. We've been looking for a forgery this whole time? That sucks. Wait, but it says Mr. Aldon's clothes were covered in blood too. It does, and if they were, which seems entirely believable, it suggests that whoever's body this is, it wasn't yet dry when Mr. Aldon's body was placed here. I get it, which means that the other person's blood was spilt not long before Mr. Aldon was killed? Brain blast! What if the body in the hole is not actually the president? Or it is? It's the president from before? Or it's a body double or something? I don't know. What if it's a body that's been buried? And it's made to look like the president and it's been brought up now to pretend that it is? I think it does, yes. But if that's the case, doesn't that present something of a contradiction? Somebody dropped a yellow flower. Here's the line, Lily. According to Francisca, yes, they're originally from Asia, if I recall correctly. Yep, she said it symbolizes the pond being painted or tiled, right? Whatever. It was the bond between parent and child, Kay. You stupid woman. The body here where it should be now, over by the snowman. Kinda sad nobody's being here anymore, huh? No, Kay, not even slightly. And now that the body has gone, there may be new clues for us to discover. Let's go over the scene with a fine-tooth comb one more time. Sir, understood, sir. It's the only part with the body there's no snow, huh? Because of the fire on the one of Kit's set. I imagine the snow have here melted as a result. This must be the unluckiest orphanage in the world. First a fire, then a murder. Talk about going from bad to worse. And then it got paved over with a giant building. The fire came first. But just because it caused the snowman out to melt.
Eureka!
No, I don't think so. This piece of evidence clearly contradicts things. Oh, it does? Like this? Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see if there's anything else I can combine. No, nothing new to combine. Maybe look at the evidence. What if I used this? Can't quite see. Or I could investigate the shoes. Maybe I present the thing itself? Reserving far, ransom for 100 million. Celsius, FIFA Lagarde.
Eureka!
Nope. Maybe I just need to look at some more stuff. When did the fire happen? It said evening. Evening before the incident. Let's have a quick look just in case there's anything new else. That's the only thing I can look at. Alright. Do I want a hint? I'm not sure. It's probably a bit too soon to ask for a hint. Package related to arrest 12 years ago. Still find it funny that in order to find the guy, we literally just zoomed into the side. Alright, I'm willing to accept a hint for now. Just to get this moving. It's either got to be this I've got to deduce, or this. We already presented this, didn't do anything. I am... February 10th. February 10th. The evening before. What at the scene contradicts the description that the fire was set before the incident? Well, it would be the blood, wouldn't it? Because the blood would then also be on the burn marks. But I thought I presented this.
Eureka!
Yeah, I did. Oh, his arm is also there, so his arm would have also... No. That doesn't make sense, no. Never mind. Keep going through. Other way around. I let the other thing present the other thing. Thanks. So, I'm guessing you mean the blood then, because this is here, but this is the blood. So, blood. The other thing. Probably this then?
Eureka!
I think it should be able to be done both ways. The fact that you have to do the blood and the burn marks, rather than the burn marks and the blood, is weird. There's a clear contradiction here. Huh? In the bloodstain? The blood is clearly got off before where the snow was melted by the fire, which means that the blood in question was split or spilt before the fire was started. Huh? But the fire happened before the murder, no? If we chose to believe the case file, yes. But if the fire was actually set after what happened here, the killer really might have been seen something. And that's why isn't there a witness statement? Because that would have challenged Chairman Winner's version of events. We need to know more about this fire. You. Yes, Shifu. Well, that fire might have been reported by the police. Or to the police, which means there might have been a record of it. Go see if there's anything and bring everything you find back right here, right away. Understood, Shifu. I'll get right on it. One more thing. What is it, Shifu? Contact my family back in Zenfar. Tell them to search my father's office. There should be something there related to the case. There should. What kind of something exactly? Game designer must have missed it. Classic one right path when multiple paths should do. Yeah. I told you I'd seen the sea somewhere before, didn't I? I remembered where. It was in my father's office. He had a picture of it, or at least of something very much like it. Oh, what? Looked like that was drawn by a child. Possibly a child from the orphanage. Possibly even the child who set the fire. It should still be there somewhere. Tell me them to set it right away. All the way from Zengfar? It's going to take months. Yeah, Shifu! Or at least a month. Well, what now? Ooh, so you want to know about Little Thief's exciting new features, huh? I'm not sure I do, actually. Hey, don't be like that. Just sit back and feast your ears on what I have to tell you. Little Thief allows the user to recreate a scene in a bunch of different super interesting ways. So, you were going to tell me no matter what I answered. Quite interesting. Text a picture. What? Text a picture? To who? At the moment... Oh, wrong voice. At the moment, we got a recreation based on the original police reports. And another based on what we heard from an Aldon's voicemail. Anytime you want to switch between the two, just say the word. Oh, right, I get what you mean now. Right. I was like, huh? I literally forgot what just happened. Anytime you want to switch between the two, just say the word. A kidnapping, a murder, and now a fire? There's too much going on here. I can't keep up. I give up. I want to go home. The fire was started early on in the evening of the incident, if I remember rightly. Before the kidnapping and murder, in other words. Does that mean something? Timing with the fire, I mean? I wonder if it might, yes. Isn't there something here that can be correct? That can't be corrected. The fire actually happened first. I should take another look at the effects of the crime. Streaming is the leading cause of short-term memory loss. Yes. And compare it to the evidence. And here we have it. Woo! I mean, I guess these two would kind of go together, now that I've read it. If Chairman Winner was involved in President Wang's abduction, then it seems likely that whatever he dug up yesterday had something to do with the kidnapping. Oh, I get it. You do? You bet I do. We're talking treasure, right? Loot. You must have been digging up the ransom money. The ransom money? $100 million is an awful lot of cash. Burying it would have been a good way to keep it hidden until the heat died down. It certainly seems like a possibility. Hee-hee. Glad you agree. Did the Excelsior Winner dig up the money? Oh, okay, I guess that was it. Investigation complete. Woo! I didn't get it all back, but I got enough. Shifu, I'm back. I brought everything the police had on the fire, and I also brought the picture from your father's office. Oh, and one more thing. About time. I got the wrong voice. I don't know why I became a New Yorker. Hey! An Italian New Yorker. Hey, I'm walking here. I'm sorry, New York people. I'm sorry. About time. What kept you, huh? We'll hand it over. Let's take a look at this mysterious picture, shall we? This is it. This is the picture I remembered. Could this has been a picture of something that happened on the night of the incident? They're exchanging an ox for a tapir? Or something? Or is that a dog? I think it's a dog. Oh, they get sorry, but none of your other countless others? Well, these ones matter because New York always gets a rap. They always get that. They always complain about the "Hey, I'm walking here" kind of thing. It's like, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. It sure looks like a kid drew it, huh? It's a pretty good drawing for a kid. Although he does have one longer point finger than the others. Yes, and I'm willing to bet it's the work of a child who set the fire. Child's drawing, jotted down. Isn't that the killer? Shifu, there's... What now? Look, you'll have to wait, okay? Well, Mr. Prosecutor? It's probably important. Where do you think my father kept this? I imagine he acquired it at some other point during his investigation, although I have no idea why he would have chosen to keep it to himself. Could we see the case file for the fire too? Sure, here. If you'll just give me a moment to read through it. It seems the boy who started the fire struck out of bed on the evening of the incident. Buried Hammer? Yeah, that guy. And then he disappeared several days later. What? Must have been because he saw something, right? No, a kid? Really? That's horrible. Is it Eustace? No, it couldn't be. But sadly not unimaginable. Huh? Looks like the kid left something behind that was put in evidence. Huh? What is this? But what's it doing in the case file? What is it, Miss Prosecutor? Have you seen this somewhere before? Something very much like it, yes. We have a piece of evidence that could barely be connected. Which item of evidence relates to the boy? The item the boy left behind.
Take that!
So he's a bit old for that. I mean, yeah, maybe. I mean, he's 17. 12 years ago would make him... He'd be 5. So maybe? I don't know what it's doing in the evidence for that case, but it looks like that it might be missing the horn from this soft toy. Hey, that was President Wang's. You've seen it before? Of course, he always kept it somewhere close by. I remember it because it was of the missing piece. I see. It has a very special device inside it that plays recorded sound when you twist the horn. Hey, do you think maybe putting the horn back on might unlock more recordings? You struggled with math as a kid, didn't you? Now, listen here, Raffertron. I've always struggled with math. I still do. You never know. I'm in the wrong voice. You never know. The door itself should be still up on the 51st floor. Hey, you heard the man? There, Shifu. I'll go grab it, fetch away. Here it is, Shifu. The Taurasaurus doll, just like you asked. Good work. Hand it to the prosecutor over there. Well, does the horn found at the orphanage fit the president's plushie? It fits perfectly. And any more recordings on there? Hi, Ji-Jun. Sorry, President Wang. It's me, Emily. I know it's been a while. I don't know who this is. I saw on the news that you were visiting the country soon. And I didn't know whether I should get it all in touch. But in the end, I decided I had to. Turn it off right now. What's getting into Judge Cavell? Are you okay? Just turn it off, please. You see, I had a baby. A beautiful little boy. You're a beautiful little boy. I'm sorry, that's pretty much all I wanted to tell you. Oh, except I called him Sean. Sean Fan. It was a nice ring to it, don't you think? No. Sean Fenn. Kid. And I'm also that, I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'm completely ruining this moment. I'll be there waiting in the front yard. I thought you could meet him if you like, even if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but, anyway, that's where we'll be. Goodbye. Emily. Emily is Amy in the fan translation and Belle in the Let's Translate. I actually kind of like Emily, but Amy's good too. Just noticed you have the same exact issue as my little cousin. What does that mean? Oh, I know the case coming up. It's Emily. Yeah, okay. What? He was my dad? I'm so sorry, Sean. Care to explain what the hell's going on, Cavell? Sean isn't my biological son. No! Really? I didn't guess that at all! Even though I said that a few streams ago. No! I adopted him. And he was aware of this? Yes, of course. His mother, Emily Fenn, she died 5 years ago. Belle was definitely a Beauty and the Beast reference, yeah. Which makes sense, because I guess the president does look like the Beast character, with the hair and all. We were cousins. Oh. But we were also friends, the best of friends. People often mistook us for sisters. And so, when she died, it seemed only natural that Sean should come and live with me. Of course, we had to keep his father's identity secret, and I decided that the best way to do that would be for him to never know in the first place. That's quite a lot to learn from a recording made on our seemingly innocent toy. I guess Sean's mother must have recorded the message and then sent the plushie to the president. Well, straight up means beauty anyway. I mean, yeah. Hey. Yes, Sean? You're sure he was really my dad? Yes. Oh, right, wrong voice. Yes, I'm sure. Before you were born, your mother worked for a time as a diplomat in Zengfa. So they're second cousins. Maybe. Makes sense. That line of work might well have brought her into contact with the president. What? You told me she worked in the orphanage. She did, but only after she returned. After she quit the diplomatic service. She always loved helping others. The orphanage was perfect for her. Now it's no wonder her name is Beauty. Her looks have got no parallel. Sorry, Judge Cavell, but I have to ask. Amelie, the lady who asked the president to come, why didn't she show up herself? Why isn't she anywhere in the files related to the SS5 incident? She never made it to the rendezvous that night. Someone was tailing her. I'll bet that was Chairman Winner's doing, though sadly we can't prove it. And because she couldn't make it, she never saw the president again. And then she died 5 years ago. This can't be easy for Sean. Press the wrong button. I'm just going to have to recheck something quick. We were cousins, but also friends. Seems only natural. So the best way to do that would be to find a remote place. Diplomat saying far. Where are you getting the second cousins from? Because I'm not seeing that anywhere. I only see that they say that they were cousins, and that's it. Is it further back? Biological son. We were cousins. That's literally the only thing it says is we were cousins. A lot to learn from recording. Diplomat. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about her parents, cousins or whatever. Anyway. Hey, John, are you thirsty? We could go get a soda. My treat, okay? Come on, I think I saw a vending machine over there. My treat, okay? Come on, yeah, okay. Yeah, I can't buy myself a soda. This is important. It's about me. I'm staying. Oh, didn't work at all. Shepard, read up 1. 1 what? I mean, if I go any further, it just stops here. This is as far as it goes. Where it just says, turn it off, please. Oh, okay. I think I know what you mean now. So, like, her and Amelie are cousins, which makes Sean Fenn his second cousin. Is that what you mean? Or both ways. It goes both ways. Sean, perhaps now you can guess why I met with the president 2 nights ago. So that's it. That was the big secret. I wanted to tell him face to face that Amelie was gone, but also that you were alive and well, more than well. But It makes sense now. No wonder Judge Gravel was so keen to avoid sharing the details of their meeting. Yeah, she wouldn't have had to share the truth about Sean too. That was why I took the lion lilies with me, so there would be no doubt that I knew Emily and that I knew her well. These flowers bore a special significance for the two of them, you see. President Wang gave Emily a bouquet of lion lilies in the early days of their romance. But now he too is dead. If only he had lived. Sean might finally have been able to get to know him. Shifu, I've been waiting for the right time to say this, but... What is it? You've been hovering there this whole time. Can it wait? They sent something else from Zhengfa. President Wang's will. What? The president's will, huh? Right in the middle of this scene? Gave my father medal after medal, they had to come up close to us and listen for him. In the end, there were no medals left to give, so the president made up keep us to the last will and testament. Those medals, that duty, they're our greatest pride and our family jewels. He was casually courting a foreign diplomat. What is it, Agent Lang? Does it have anything to do with our current case? You could say that. It seems he was planning on publicly acknowledging Sean as his son. Sean's name appears in the president's will? And we're certain that the document is authentic, that President Wang wrote it himself. Sure we are, but it's old, but it's real. It's old, but it's real. My family took charge of it back before the SS5 incident happened. No one analyzed it back home to be sure, but I'd take my name on it being the genuine article. Wang was a renowned wild leader. A child nobody knew about would have been sure to cause a stir. And yet he chose to mention the child in his will nonetheless. Well, that's that, I guess. Still can't quite believe it, but the president confirmed it with his own hands. There's no denying it. Sean, you're President Wang's son. Yes, as that was already established. Sean. To be continued. Oh yeah, I saved twice by accident. Whoops. Well, I can't get rid of that, so it's whatever. The truth behind the SS5 incident. It's only barely been an hour, hasn't it? Yeah, it's not even an hour yet. We've got plenty of time. April 6th, 4:51 p.m. Sean. He was my dad? It can't have been easy learning the truth about his father's identity so unexpectedly. And too late to ever get to know him. You know how hard to try to find him? Sean. I get it, he was the president, he had a lot more to think about than just me. It was right there in front of me, right there on the set. So why? Why didn't he just say something? Why didn't he just tell me who he was? I'm sorry, Sean. I'm so sorry. Sorry? Sorry. It says middle, but you're well past the middle by now. It's lying to me. It's not your fault, Mom, it's mine. If I hadn't broken my promise to you, that fire would never have happened and you wouldn't have... I've ruined everything. Everything is all my fault. I even ruined your flowers. Sean, please, you mustn't blame yourself. Just try to be here with me. Just for a little while. The bond between parent and child is symbolized by the lion lily. Drunk Justine. I'm no expert, but it's native to Zhengfa, so I know that much at least. Sadly, we don't have the luxury of dwelling on such things just now. I know it might seem insensitive, Agent Lang, but sentimentality won't help us here. We need to focus on what we can do about the case before us. You're right. I believe we've learned all we need to about what happened back then for now. Sean immediately gets taken in. Alright, you're going to jail for the rest of your life, boy. A kid's correctional facility. How did it all line up with your father's theories about the case? I wouldn't know. He took those to a grave with him. I'll have to dig him up to find out. He never shared his thoughts with anybody. There's no way of knowing what he figured out. What about your own thoughts? Are you feeling any more positive in light of what you've learned about Kay's reconstruction? Are we closer to learning what really happened 12 years ago? You know, I think we might be. My father's footsteps are starting to become clear. Now all we need to do is follow them. All the way to the truth. Yeah! The truth! The real story of the SS5 incident. At least they'd have those not good ones, but existing... What? At least they'd have those now. Not good ones, but existing ones. Cries in Gina. But that president went to the orphanage that night. That much we know for sure. The Taurasaurus story proves it. He must have gone there to meet with Amelie Fenn. Except she was kidnapped. Well, he was kidnapped, and Al Down happened to see it. If Al Down wasn't been there wouldn't have been a murder, just a kidnapping. Instead, they had to move his body to the planners and stage the photo for throw everybody off the scent. So, that's our current theory, is it? Woo. But there's something I don't understand. There is? This. Why risk staging the picture? They would have had to force the president to play along. What if he hadn't? It's a good question, and we may be closer to discovering the answer than we think. We all miss Gina, yeah. They'd have a separate juvenile jail. We'll just have to get there one deduction at a time. Yeah, I guess we will. Alright, deduce away. He's fully on board this now, like us trying to solve this. When we first met him, he was like, I don't listen to lawyers, they're all evil. Wolfpack, assemble! And now he's like, I'm willing to listen. He's grown so much.
Hold it!
Nothing should be taken for granted at this stage. We need to treat even the seemingly certain with caution. Can we really be sure that the president went to the orphanage? I get it. You want evidence? This is a nice change of pace from people asking you to show them proof, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? There's no need to actually say it out loud, Kay.
Hold it!
The plushie. It has a recording device concealed inside it, correct? It does, and it was used by Sean's mother, Emily, to record a message asking the president to meet her at the orphanage at midnight. Whoa! You're finishing each other's sentences now. What a team! You two will peel away the layers of truth like an onion, I'm sure of it. No, we're peeling them away like ogres, because we have layers. You do realize that there's nothing underneath all the layers of an onion, don't you, Kay? Or actually, there's just more onion. Until you get to an onion so small you can't see or touch it anymore. There shouldn't have been one for Gina, let alone separate facilities based on gender if this series was any more realistic. I'd scared to think about it. Could you try to say something a little less unfortunate sounding? We like the ogre bit. Hey! It's timeless, okay? I only used it once this stream. What are you talking about? I didn't even use it in the last two streams. You two will peel the layers of truth like the skin of a wolf. I'm sure of it. What? He said less unfortunate sounding. Shall we continue?
Hold it!
Could we go over the details once again? So Mr. Aldown saw the president being kidnapped from right by the orphanage, and he was standing next to the snowman. The murderer... I was in a different voice then. The murderer crept up behind him and grabbed him and... Ooh! Calm down, Kay. We're simply verifying our understanding of events. Yeah, well, that little outburst just blew my understanding out of my ears. I know, we have to go over all this again, but we can do it less dramatically. Really? Fine. I'll have to keep answering if you're happy to keep asking.
Hold it!
If Mr. Aldown hadn't been there... Huh. That's an interesting suggestion. Care to explain? There's not a whole lot to explain. He saw the kidnapping, so he's murdered. If he hadn't been there, maybe the kidnapping could have happened without any blood being spilled. But could it? Makes it sound like it was Mr. Aldown's fault he was murdered. That's not what Agent Lang is saying, Kay. What he means is that Mr. Aldown was the only person who died at this orphanage that night. If you count development, this series is far older, though. I mean, yeah, from my understanding, this came out in like 2007? 2008? The original, anyway? This one came out like a few months ago. Well, of course he was. The kidnapped president and everything. But the ransom was paid and he came home safely, right? She's right, of course, but why does something bother me about that? I think it might be worth taking another look over the evidence. Finish discussing things with your assistant, Mr. Prosecutor? Then let us continue, shall we?
Hold it!
This is another very important part of our current theory. Shall we go over all the details again? Sure, probably a good idea. Alright, first, what did Aldown see? Check was May 2001. AA was 2001 October. Like, just the first Ace Attorney? Or are you talking about investigations? Because I'm talking about investigations. And we're still talking about Shrek. You saw the president being kidnapped from right in front of the building. But the kidnappers were keen to avoid any suggestion that they might be connected with the orphanage. Yep, so they placed them in the film in Aldown's camera. A staged a photograph by the kidnapping occurring farther away from the building. Indeed. And then they moved Mr. Aldown's body to a location consistent with that the pictures showed. The secret's buried underneath that snow 12 years ago and finally coming to light. And we're sure that it really happened that night. What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? I get the sense we're still not seeing everything. That there's something else at play behind it all. There is, but what? There's a piece of evidence we discovered that Agent Lang's theory can't explain. We have presented to him with it and developed further thinking. I believe it was... Was it this one? No, it was this one. Oh, whoops. Let me see what's actually in this picture. We've got the three planters. We've got the president there with the ball and flowers. We've got a bunny rabbit there, which I think is one of the things you sit on that was there. We've got what looks like a tape here, but it's probably a dog. And we've got the blind guy with a knife. I don't know why anyone's not brought that up. ...2011. Investigations 1 was 09, Investigations 2 was 11. Okay. DD was 2013. DD. Dual Destinies, okay. Yeah.
Objection!
You're saying there would have been no murder if Mr. Aldown hadn't witnessed the kidnapping. But is that really the case? Why wouldn't it be? The main aim was to abduct the president, right? So if there hadn't been a witness present, then they would have needed to murder anybody. And yet it remains possible that Mr. Aldown wasn't the only person killed that night. There was a large pool of blood between the planters, but Mr. Aldown was murdered over by the snowman. It can't have belonged to him. What if the body, all that blood on the planters, belonged to somebody else? Come on, Mr. Prosecutor. You do realize what you're saying, don't you? I do. It's hard to believe. It's to be the first to admit it, but that's what the evidence suggests. Not just one person was killed here 12 years ago, but two. Am I going to be right on this? You're saying they're covered up a whole separate murder? But whose? Who else was killed that night? I remember watching a Dual Destinies playthrough in 13 in college. Didn't own a 3DS, but still don't, alas. I own a 3DS. I had Dual Destinies on my DS, and now I have it on here, on stream, with the remake or whatever you would call it, remaster. You can watch it back then. Just go through my playlists. Whoever covered up this other homicide did so very skillfully indeed. I'm stumbling over my own words now. They even seem to have been able to avoid it being mentioned in the files. But they didn't quite get rid of everything. We have a piece of evidence from 12 years ago that we've never managed to erase. This clearly shows that something else happened that night. Does that mean there's a chance you play the Layton crossover? I don't know. Maybe. How come I can't read that? Shepardamus strikes again. There we go. If it ever makes the scene. Yeah, maybe. I figured that one of the Layton stuff has come to Steam, though. But who knows? Occurred on February 10th, 12 years ago. President Zengfao was kidnapped. Blah, blah, blah. President Embassy is till midnight, confirmed by Dalong Lang. Exorcist winner. President Wang was supposed to meet Amelie Fan at the orphanage at midnight. Witness Alf Aldown was murdered. His body moved and a photograph staged. Something else happened that night. I mean, obviously it's this, because this is a different person.
Take that!
Excelsior winner tried to shroud the existence of the other murder in darkness. There is Ghost Trick, though. Yes, there is. And I would like to play that on stream at some point, but I need to get it. But there was one piece of evidence he wasn't able to suppress. Thanks to the efforts of your father, Agent Lang. Father. Cast your mind back, if you will. Something else was hidden along with the other evidence from the crime scene. The existence of the child who set the fire in front of the orphanage. One piece you say, no, we're not doing that. Get it out. But why would Chairman Winner wish to erase him from the record? Because he saw something he should not have. That's why. He did? What was it? It's right here in this picture. The picture my father kept. Or wrong voice. It's Lang. Just assume it's Lang. I said that. I think we can all agree that the president on the right-hand side. And that's the Taurasaurus toy in his hand. But who's that standing across from him?
Take that!
Eastern robes and a black dog. That can only be Bodhidharma Canis. What? The creepy assassin guy? And what would a hired killer be doing in the presence of a president? I can think of only one thing. That's right, he wasn't a kidnapping that occurred here 12 years ago. It was an assassination. That's a creepy side picture there. Jesus. Look, people of God is whatever, but the guy? Jeez. And one Lagarde and Chairman Winner were... Yes, I think they were complicit. More than complicit, in fact. They all took a piece. One provided the venue for the killing, and the other suppressed the testimony of the child who witnessed it. Mr. Aldown was murdered because what he witnessed was actually an assassination, and not the kidnapping he thought to be at all. Do you think I'm an idiot? How could the president have died 12 years ago? We only found this body this morning. He was alive well until just recently. Yeah, we haven't even seen him. Indeed. So we have a president killed 12 years ago, and a president killed in the last 48 hours. Two presidents, in other words. Right, which is completely impossible. Or is it? I think it's entirely possible for there to be two presidents. Did I actually call this? In fact, that would explain a lot. Regardless of what happened, I still respected him. Zengfao may not have been a big country, but he held that place together. The president Agent Lang spoke of was a noble and capable leader. The presidential mask was well and truly slipped. Entirely unlike the man we met. It really did seem as if there were two completely different people. But how could one country have two presidents? What could explain a situation like that? This is how it was possible for there to be two presidents. They were twins! It was a body double. One of the two was a body double. Tell me, that doesn't make sense. A body double? President Wang was a man of great power and influence in Zhengfa, a figure on the world stage, held together with his massive muscles. There must have been countless attempts on his life over the years. My foot's got pins and needles and I had it crossed for too long. Such as the one at Gourd Lake, found only a few days ago. It's true, there were more than a few assassination attempts. That doesn't mean I'm about to accept that there was more than one president. Not without proof. Do we have any proof that there was more than one president? Do we? I mean, would it be the photo? Wait, no, it's this! Oh, okay, maybe it's not then. You have to agree there were more two presidents. Sorry, but I don't. Not based on that, anyway. Like Z says. Bad proof has no mouth. I wondered if you pick up on that when Tequila mentioned body doubles took a lot longer, but you worked it out. I'm sorry, I'm not a big brain. I'm not Markiplier, okay? I don't have big brain, I have small brain. Most of it is spread around people that keep taking my brain cells. Because I have to share them. In other words, meetings and evidence can tell us nothing. Oof, I must have gotten that wrong. If you could prove that he ever been in two places at once, that would be pretty good evidence there where the two presidents were, right? It would. Let's look over the evidence again and consider the facts of this case. What are you saying? It's impossible. There gotta be two presidents. Oh, you want to change your mind? Show you proof.
Take that!
Okay, it's not that then. Two presidents. Do, 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 do. Three Z's is not really going to help here.
Take that!
Nope, not the toy. The only other thing I can think of is this then.
Take that!
Nope. Okay. Do you have any proof that there was more than one president? Was kidnapped and ransomed for 100 million. President's presence at embassy until midnight, confirmed by Dalong Lang. President Wang was supposed to meet Emily Fan at the orphanage at midnight. Wait. President presence at embassy until midnight, confirmed by Dalong Lang, but he was supposed to meet Emily Fang at the orphanage at midnight. So that wouldn't make any sense that he would show up at the same time that he went to the orphanage.
Take that!
I don't think he's noticed the contradiction staring him in the face. Or is he just unable to accept it? What's the matter, prosecutor? You're pretty quiet all of a sudden. In Emily Fann's recording, she asked the president to be at the orphanage at midnight. But it shouldn't have been possible for him to be there at that time. Huh? How come? Because he was supposedly still at the embassy with your father, Agent Lang. So he had noticed. The only way he could have been in two places at once is if there were two of him. Ugh. So the real president, that was the one who died 12 years ago? I think it might have been. But why and who? Who would have hired Canis to murder the president? In order to figure that out, we'll need to look again at the piece of evidence we recently discovered was a fake. The fake evidence. What was it again? Oh god, I have to present something else now? The fake evidence. We need to look again at the evidence we recently discovered was fake. Who could have hired Canis to murder the president? The fake evidence, which would be this.
Take that!
The picture taken with Mr. Aldown's camera was staged sometime after his murder. Mr. Aldown was murdered because he witnessed the president's assassination. In other words, the photograph too must have been taken after the real president's death. So who is the president in the staged photograph? The body double. Nothing else makes sense. I believe the president's double had him killed so that he could take his place permanently. An Excelsius winner and Fifi Lagarde helps him do it. Wait, you don't even have the body to support your theory. And you're telling me it magically disappeared?
Objection!
No, in fact we know exactly where it wound up. The president's body was here the whole time. Okay. Oh, just in case there's something there. Monochrome villain trio shot, fantastic, yeah!
Take that!
Okay, so it was the one next to it. Chairman Winner dug something up last night. Something he couldn't trust anybody else to retrieve. And like I said, this is also the body that he dug up instead of the money. We thought it might have been the ransom money, but it was actually something even more important. Wait, you mean... That's right, the real president's body. I think it's highly likely anyway. What? The body may have decomposed in the intervening years, but the bones would surely have remained. Mr. Powers informed us that construction is due to start here sometime soon. Everything had to be wrapped up before then. The shooting of the movie and the recovery of the president's remains. Yeah, I guess that once they started digging the place up, that would have found them pretty quick, huh? Agent Lang, we need to have the so-called monster footprints analyzed again. Yeah, I guess we do. If there's a body under one of them, there should be trace the evidence confirming. Hey, give me something from forensics. Autopsy is fake Prez. Buried years ago was real Prez. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Sir, presenting the findings of our analysis, sir. Traces of human remains were found in the dirt along with other signs of the body having been buried. So it really was him. Bones were discovered from the home of Excelsius Winner. The physique looks to be about right, and dental mental records are a match. It's him, no doubt about it. So, as expected, the real President Wang was killed 12 years ago, and the SS-5 kidnapping was in fact a homicide. The body! Wow, so it really was a murder, huh? This case is just taking so many twists and turns, I'm starting to lose track. I don't think you ever kept track of anything. Yes, perhaps we should summarize our findings just to confirm that we understand everything correctly. Good idea, let's go over everything from the point where the president arrived at the orphanage. 12 years ago, the real President Wang visited the orphanage. His aim? To meet his infant son. The footprints were originally assumed to be those of Mr. Aldown. Seems likely to have been made by the president upon his arrival. But instead of being greeted by his child, he is greeted by the killer, Bodit Canis. That's so sad. He was home to see his baby for the first time only to... Indeed, but at least with Mr. Canis, we can be sure that the job was swiftly and effectively completed. At least he killed him fast, is what he's basically saying. But then, after the assassination, another tragedy occurred. Kay may not have an object permanence, but she sure loves flesh. Mr. Aldon's murder. Yes, it seems he witnessed a key moment in the evening's proceedings. The moment when our culprits and the so-called kidnappers took the prisoner's body around to the side of the building. That was the sight that sealed his fate. We've now established that he was standing by the orphanage gates at the time. The opposite of the Professor and Balmung. Far enough away that he believed that what he was seeing was the president's abduction. At which point... Oh, the body double who had come to meet up with his co-conspirators walked right up behind Mr. Aldau, leading to our unfortunate eyewitness being murdered by the man who was plotting to replace the president. So was it the body double who moved Mr. Aldau's body too? Yes, I think it probably was. But none of the footprints could have been his, could they? Actually, I think they could. In fact, we have a piece of evidence that proves how that particular trick was achieved. What shows how the body double managed to move the body without leaving any footprints. What shows how the body double managed to move the body. Well, it was these one, wasn't it? Oh, man. I'm just going to present the shoes because I think that's the one that actually fits. So. What if the president's body double moved Mr. Aldon's body like this? After killing Aldon, it could have carried him to the other side of the entrance. Given that his job was just to look like the president, he would have been wearing the same shoes, meaning that if he stepped exactly in the footprints left by the real president... Of course, he could have been... his would have been the same shape and size. I combined shape and size into one word. It would have looked like a single set of footprints. So that's how it all went down. I'm so glad we finally figured it out. Wait, but there's one thing I still don't get. There is? What? Why did they need to pretend there was a kidnapping? Mr. Aldon had seen the president of the orphanage and left a message on Miss Ringer's phone describing what he thought he saw. It would have been impossible for the conspirators to erase that message. So, they had to make it look like as if the events described in the message were true. By staging a kidnapping like the one he thought he saw? Exactly. I think the two people in the photograph are likely to be the body double and Fifi Lagarde. She's the one in the trench coat. How can you be so sure of that? The two of them would have had to walk out beyond the orphanage gates to stage the photo. The body double could have put his feet in the real president's prints as he did before. Oh, so the other set of footprints were hers? The ones we originally thought belonged to the killer. Yes. They were about a size 9. Too small for Chairman Winner, in other words. Which means that the kidnapper must have been played by Warden Lagarde. And that explains how a so-called kidnapping was actually a presidential assassination. It does. Which means my father must have been... He must have... noticed. There's no way he wouldn't have suspected a murder. Especially not with the kid's picture as proof. But the picture was never officially put into evidence, correct? No, he appears to have kept hold of it after taking the witness statement of the child who drew it. Yeah, because he knew. He knew President Wang was dead. And he knew what would happen if that news ever got out. Zhang Fa would have been plunged into chaos, no doubt. So he kept it a secret, and that secret died with him. Even though it meant taking the blame for the kidnapping, our family name being ruined. So, your father knew the truth about what happened 12 years ago, but he chose to hide it. Well, it's finally come to light at last. Woo! Is this going to be Buried Hammer? Is it indeed intriguing? Huh? What? Who's there? It's Batman! Oh, it is Bodenhammer. That sound, is that a bell? Momahara Canis! I knew it! And the dog too. What the heck are you doing here? You can just show up in the middle right like this, ain't no problem. Forgive me, but I couldn't keep overhearing the fascinating conversation you were having. The opportunity to gloat over your past crimes was too good to miss, I expect. You killed President Wang! I did, but it's not something I'm inclined to gloat over. I was more interested in something else you mentioned. Or someone else, should I say. Someone you're looking for, I suppose. Exactly. That's why I took a little sojourn from the penitentiary to find a certain young pup. A young pup in a rather eye-catching red raincoat. What? Wait, you know who they are? In a manner of speaking. What did you call them again? A secret mastermind? It's your friend. In the red raincoat, of course. Red raincoat. The prosecutor looks a little surprised, doesn't he? Helmet? Yes. Yes, he does. The young pup I mentioned. He saved my life, 12 long years ago. As you have surmised, it was I who killed President Wang. But that meant I too became inconvenienced in need of removal. The imposter President Winner Lagarde. All three were keen to guarantee my silence. And if it hadn't met my friend, the young pup again, they might never have even succeeded. We're in the pre-endgame now. Ooh. I wonder what he's doing now. Hope you can do a bad Doofenshmirtz impression when you finally meet the mastermind. I don't even know who that is. I know the name, but I don't remember the voice, so probably not. So, it was the president's body double who hired you. I remember his words, almost like as it was yesterday. You know how many times I've nearly been killed? Not once, not twice, a bunch of times. I'd have to talk all the risks. Why am I the one always put in danger? Why am I making suddenly a different accent? When I'm out with being him, people treat me like I was him. They worship me. So that's the difference. Who's to say I couldn't just be good as him? There was a difference, of course. Even if he didn't look and sound exactly the same like him. Oh, that was the fake president. Okay, well, too late now. Recommend looking him up. He's too good a voice not to do. Okay. Just because he walks and talks like a president doesn't make it a president, does it, boy? No. So, he got his wish and became the boss, but couldn't quite fill his predecessor's shoes. Rook's not around. That means I'm number one. I wonder if you have what it takes to step into such capable shoes. You, of course I do. I am the leader now. Me. I'm reading that so badly on purpose. Huh. It seems the king and his knight were much the same. The president's body double knew that his employee has a weakness, a young woman named Emily. But in order to find her, he needed to enlist the help of locals. Locals such as Chairman Winner. Once Miss Fenn had been located, they simply needed to find the right time to lay that trap. The meeting arranged with the president could meet his son. That would have been the perfect opportunity. Indeed, with the head of the orphanage brought into the fold, then the conspiracy was complete. One Lagarde. Now, quid pro quo, where might I find the pup? What makes you think the boy who helped you and a mysterious string puller are one and the same? He set a little fire that night, out there in the yard of the orphanage. Oh yeah, we saw that. It was some kind of prank, right? A prank? It was nothing of the sort, my dear. Not as I understand it, he had taken refuge in the igloo by the entrance. From there, he happened to see Winner and Lagarde carrying away a dead body. He also overheard them hatching a certain sordid little plot. A plot to remove me, the only other person who knew what had really happened, from the picture. Thankfully, he was kind enough to come and inform me. I was waiting inside the building, you see. He also happened to mention later on that he was wearing his favorite red raincoat. In any case, he escorted me from the premises. And, being a very considerate boy, thought to erase both our footprints from the scene of the crime. It seemed he had a little kerosene set aside by the igloo, just in case on such an occasion. That's a lot of kerosene. So he spread it liberally about the place and set himself a little fire. No way! So that's what the fire was for? It must have been ever so beautiful when Lagarde were positively enchanted. And while they were distracted with the show, he took me to the opportunity to usher me out of a side entrance. You never answered my question. You really think he's the one behind all this? Also, how do you know he wore a red raincoat if you're blind? I do indeed. Don't I, Helmet? Yes. Yes, I do. Oops, wrong button. Alright, how long have we been going for? An hour and 30 minutes? We got plenty of time still. Ah, my arm. Ow.
Hold it!
He said it, he said it! You were pretty forthcoming with that particular admission. If I'm honest, Mr. Edgeworth, I'm tired of all the killing. But back then, I felt that death was my path. I embraced it and strove to learn what it had to teach. I've made my peace with that, and I'm happy to admit it. Aren't I, boy? Yes. Yes, I am. I'm not sure what he's talking about, but I definitely don't like the sound of it. Basically, he thought nothing of murdering the president. Not only is he an assassin, but he's now a prison escapee, not to be someone to be trifled with. But we can't afford him not to talk. I'll need to tread as carefully as I can. Very well, you killed the president. After this testimony, because that's where it kicks off? Okay. Very well, you killed the president, now you're happy to admit it. Oh, very much so. I wouldn't want you thinking that I drew my blade and missed.
Hold it!
You a target, but you're an assassin. Sometimes the hunter must become the hunted. Sometimes the living must become the dead. Please, Kay, don't feel the need to have a problem of your own. Impermanence is inherent in the way of the assassin. Life-takers' lives are taken, so it goes. Wait, does that mean the people you were sent to kill sometimes try to kill you back, or...? It happens, occasionally, but it is not what happened this time.
Hold it!
But, Mr. Canis, you're a professional killer, and a famously skilled one at that. Surely escaping even these 3 attackers would have been little more than a minor inconvenience. You overestimate me, Mr. Edgeworth. You seem to forget that without Helmet here, I couldn't even walk down the street. Against 3 assailants, I wouldn't have lasted more than a few moments. I see. So even the most proficient assassins are ill-equipped to face a full frontal assault. We're not usually fond of such situations, shall we say. I certainly would have liked my chances. Yeah, he's not the Chainsaw Massacre.
Hold it!
Again, so the two of you had met before. Yes. Recall lonely Christmas Eve 18 years back. That long ago. But on that occasion, it was I who saved his life. It was snowing, more than it had in years, and cold enough that death was by freezing was a real possibility. I had taken Helmet out for a little walk. He noticed something and bounded off through the snow. When I caught up to him, he was sniffing at a car. The doors had frozen shut. It took all the strength I had, but eventually I managed to open one. Oh, hey! It's the 2 kids from, the cake case that were disappeared. And inside I found 2 young boys, shivering and semi-conscious. 2? Yes, and had I found even an hour later, the poor wretches would have never made it. I took them both to a nearby orphanage. Is it me, or is there something significant about what he just told us? Was it about Canis' statement that especially noteworthy? You're certain there were 2 children in that car? It was a long time ago. I remember it clearly as if it were yesterday. There were 2 of them, no doubt about it. Why do you ask, Mr. Prosecutor? Is there some significance to the number? He's right. Perhaps there isn't significantly important about that now. Well, would that be all on the matter? What is it about the statement? The date. This was on Christmas Eve 18 years ago. You're certain of that? I am. Holy smokes! We have something that shows why that date is so significant. Which piece of evidence relates to the date on which Mr. Canis found the children?
Take that!
That was the same day on which a sudden incident occurred. The murder of a well-known sculptor. No way! She says that so much. She's such a valley girl or something. An incident in the aftermath of which 2 children went missing. YouTube was throwing a fit. Oh, was it? Let me just check to be sure that nothing on my side. No drop frames or anything. Must be YouTube. Or it might be just your browser. I don't know if anyone else is... She's Josie. I mean, Jersey. I know what you mean. And when 2 people went missing... The son of the victim, Marty Frost, and the son of the murderer, Carmelo Gusto. Yeah, now that you mention it, the little guys did go AWOL, huh? Intriguing. The son of a murderer and the son of a victim. I suppose that would make sense. It would. One of the boys was bound hand and foot, you see. There must have been part of Mr. Frost's plan to stop Mr. Gusto's son from getting to the competition. Indeed, because without his son to taste his creations, Mr. Gusto would have had no chance of winning. So that's what was behind it all. Sadly, neither of the boys were able to remember any such details. They weren't? No. When we met each other again on that night 12 years ago, the young pup explained it to me. It seems that they really were on the brink of death when I found them, and the shock of their experience had caused them both to lose their memories. They weren't even able to remember their names. Wow, so they wouldn't have known they were Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto's kids? If that's what he's telling us is true, that would seem likely, yes. Which means we still don't have enough to tell us what a mastermind might be. Mr. Canis, would you mind telling us what happened next? By all means. The pup and I. The pup and I remained in contact even after I was sent to prison. But then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry. And when people from 12 years ago started cropping up all over the place, it rather piqued my curiosity, so I thought I'd temporarily regain my freedom and look into things. People from 12 years ago? You mean Lagarde, Winner, and the President, I assume? Well, one Lagarde was in charge of the prison where he was an inmate this whole time, right? I fear as kind to her. I wasn't as kind to her as I could have been. But then she did try to have me killed. You already know why, of course. Because you murdered President Wang, but they needed the world to believe he was still alive. If somebody had exposed the president as fake, it would have been bad for Lagarde and Chairman Winner, too. Exactly. And not only that, I happened to overhear something else intriguing that night. I'll be at the orphanage on the evening of the 9th. I'll be in the waiting room front yard. I thought you could meet him if you'd like, if it's only just this once. I know you're a very busy man, but this is where we'll be. Goodbye. A different voice for every time that happens, I guess. Who are you? Sorry, but I'm waiting for somebody. Oh, wrong voice. I did the wrong thing. Who are you? Sorry, but I'm waiting for somebody. I know who you are, President Wang. I couldn't help overhearing the news. Congratulations. But please don't worry about your son. I only kill those I am employed to kill, which in this case is you. No. No. Wait, this is my first chance to meet him, and it might be my only chance. Please, give me just a few minutes longer. I thought he was going to beg for his life, but no. An interesting character. I told him I was not aware that he had a child. No, he said, and shook his head. Neither was I, but the world will know that I have one now. I mean to make sure of it. I even prepared something in case that worst comes to worst. And the son in question, it was the young gentleman with the horns here, correct? Horns, you can see them? I don't need to, my dear. I've been listening very carefully, you see, and I can hear through the particles in the air that he wears horns on his head. And for longer than you may realize. So, the President meant to tell the world about Sean and prepared something in case of the worst. But it's not enough to simply have Canis' word on the matter. Of course. We have something that proves that he was telling us President was true. The will. A will everybody knew about. He trusted it to my family to show his belief in us after all. The name in the recording, the preparations he had made, and his will. With those 3 pieces of information, I was able to convince Warden Lagarde to do anything I asked. With the information at his disposal, he could have exposed the truth about the body double at any time. And Sean's true identity with it. President Wang was more agile than I anticipated. He blocked my first knife strike with something soft. By the time the piece had broken off hit the snow, my next strike went in its mark. So it was Canis who tore the horn off the Taurasaurus doll. I was the only one present to hear his final words. The only one who knew the truth about his son. Well, me and that poor pup. The pup and I. So after this one, we stop?
Hold it!
So, you were able to continue communicating with him from prison? I was, via a post office box. What's that? It means an exchange of mail without revealing one's own address. I never knew where he was, and I wasn't able to slip out and track him down. I was being kept under rather strict supervision, you see. By the Warden Lagarde, no doubt. What were you two even communicating about? We were playing correspondence chess, of course. That and griping about our respective lots in life. Correspondence chess? But didn't you used to play chess with... As unlikely as it seemed, Mr. Canis' chess opponent was... Mr. Knight! Yeah, it was Mr. Knight. We found the diagram of the game in his cell, too. Correspondence chess again. So that means that has something to do with all this IS-7 business? Wait, could that be it? Do we have any evidence that might connect Knight to the IS-7 incident? This one.
Take that!
Mr. Fender, can you take a look at this, please? Sure can do, bud. Good buddy, but why? You're not trying to tell me this ties tonight the IS-7 thing, do you? Because I gotta say, Mills Arena, I don't see it at all. Fine. I think I'll have to think this over one more time. It's some of the Bronster's things, right? Why not take another look-see? Maybe something the IS-7 relevant will jump at you. Knight's things. I suppose it could be worth another look.
Hold it!
You didn't just let me redo it? You just have to make me go through the whole thing again? Oh, this is a new discussion. Then I stopped hearing from him. I couldn't help but worry. He stopped responding. That seems strange. I'm glad you agree. Helen did too. That big scary mutt really said that. What, like, woof woof? That's barking mad. He doesn't need to talk to others, so he's him to her. He doesn't? Oh, well, let me ask you something. That look he's giving me, the super intense kind of scary look. He's not trying to say he's hungry, is he? He might be. He might be. And Mr. Edgeworth, help. Kay really isn't fond of Canis' pet, it seems. Yes, the good boy. Oh, where was I? I'm getting more faster because I'm just trying to, speed through this. The pup.
Hold it! Take that!
This is everything Knight left behind. Could there be a clue in there somewhere? A ring and a chess set. Which one should we look at more closely? The ring. The ring. What about it, Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Fender, take a closer look at it if you would. The design. A Paul Leaks trademark. Mark. Indeed, it sure looks like somebody turned the stamp he used to sign his work into a ring. But why would Knight have been carrying it? And why was he not with the rest of the evidence from the IS-7 incident? They tried to release Mr. Frost's personal effects from the next of kin after the case went down. But if I remember correctly, old Frosty Boy didn't have any family side from his kid. And that kid was missing, so they never got to hand it back to him. Not till later, anyhow. I heard in the grapevine that they found him in the end and gave him the goods. Including the seal, it would seem, which he turned into a ring and wore until his own death. Knight is Halik's son? So we're saying Mr. Knight was Mr. Frost's son. The cops don't mess around with stuff like that. They would have made sure before handing over. And we were looking for somebody connected to the IS-7 incident who played correspondence chess, right? Wait, so our secret string puller is Bronco Knight?
Objection!
The Knight is dead. How could they be possibly involved in our current case? Far out. The only candidate for Genius Mastermind is a guy who already kicked the bucket. That's impossible. How can a dead guy be behind all this? God. I'm making him more and more snobby. It's a little perplexing, but then who else could it be? So I did provide the right thing, but there's more here, I guess.
Hold it!
It does seem like a little too much for a little coincidence, doesn't it? An attempt was made on the life of the man who was pretending to be President Wang all these years. Warden Lagarde murdered Bronco Knight while he was being held at the prison she ran. An Excelsius winner, chairman of the Committee for Prosecutorial Excellence, murdered Rosie Ringer. And the more I think back, the more it seemed at the time that some mysterious other presence was lurking behind all those incidents. Yes, even from behind bars, it was rather obvious that something strange was going on.
Hold it!
You thought you'd temporarily gain your freedom? Could you be any more brazen? Yeah, even a thief would struggle to get away with something like that, and I thought I'd temporarily steal it. Fear not. Nobody was injured in the course of my escape. It wasn't necessary after all. I have my ways. Let's leave it at that, shall we? Leave it at that? No way, pal. You escaped. Got all arrested right now. There'll be no need for that, Detective. As soon as my business is concluded, I'll return home to my cell. Are you serious? Prison is supposed to be someplace you can just stroll up and in and out of when you please. Strange that you should say that. Weren't you the one who strolled in to try and dig into my past only recently? You... Agent Lang, Detective Gumshoe, I need to be able to question Mr. Canis further. Could you both try to remain calm? Alright, so I kind of knew you were going to say that. Fine. I'm not taking my eyes off the dog, man. Not even for a second, you hear?
Hold it!
In Braille. That's how you wrote all of them? That's right. I have tools to do so in my cell. Huh, so you have special tools? I never thought you'd about it before, but I guess that makes sense. And what exactly did you write about, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, this and that. General chit-chat. Chess moves, of course. He wrote the chess moves in Braille too. That's interesting. Speaking of chess moves, how does that piece you carved in yourself move? The dog? Perhaps we can talk about that later. For now, I'd like to know what happened when the letter stopped. I sat in my cell and tried to imagine where he might have gone. Okay, nope, I still don't get it. Who does he mean? Who's the pup he keeps talking about? Who indeed? It seems that even Mr. Canis knows his true identity. So we should focus on what we do know, and that there was a connection between the two of them. I'm particularly interested in how that connection was maintained. Is there anything here that would actually tell me in Braille? Doo-doo. So I'm gonna have to wipe my screen because there's a freaking line on it for some reason. Right, so where to present evidence and what evidence? Because we know that it was Knight that he's looking for, but we know that Knight's dead already. But I took for notes written beside diagrams of your chess games, correct? Well, he was playing Mr. Knight, right? This ring belonged to Mr. Knight. Mr. Fender, take a look at it. Yeah, that's the kitty for sure. That was evidence from the IS-7 incident. Guts finally tracked down Frost's kid and gave it back to him. But if Knight was Mr. Frost's son, doesn't that also make Canis young pup our evil Asinine, in other words? No, he can't be. He's dead. There's no way he could be at the center of all this. Our mastermind is still waiting in the wings somewhere, biding his time, watching... Not in Braille. Oh, sorry, Mr. Canis. Guess we got a little carried away there. Not at all, my dear. We found a little chest. Helmet. Yes. Put out bang pup with correspondence card. If it's in Braille, how does he read it?
Objection!
You said you wrote all your letters in Braille. Is that correct? I don't mean to be rude, Mr. Prosecutor, but you do know about my condition, don't you? That's odd, because the chess diagram we found in Knight's cell didn't contain any Braille at all. Really? But surely that's impossible. How so, exactly? Maybe someone typed Mr. Canis' letter out on purpose? Meaning there may have been some sort of intermediary between the two of them. So then... Mr. Canis said he wrote his letters in Braille, and yet the letters received by Mr. Knight contained no Braille at all. This suggests that there must have been a third party who typed Mr. Canis' letters out. I guess he could have worked the same way on the flip side too, right? Whoever it was would have taken Mr. Knight's letter and turned back into Braille. They could indeed. Interesting. I think you and Mr. Knight were both communicating with this person, Mr. Canis. Mr. Canis, the answer you received... They were written in Braille too, yes. Some mysterious middle person was really about help retyping the Bronster's missives? And that same person might well be our secret string puller. Wait, you're trying to say that there's another hidden mastermind behind this whole thing? So who's this new one? Bronco Knight's son of Artie Frost is already dead. Well, what if the other child from the incident 18 years ago was actually who we've been looking for? Carmelo Gusto's son. But who is he? And where is he? If Knight was Frost's son, Gusto would have had to be... I've known him since we were kids, both of us all alone. He doesn't have any family, you see, just like me. Him? But surely not. What's the matter, Mr. Edgeworth? You seem white as a sheet. Of course, it all makes sense. I know exactly who our so-called mastermind is. What? Who? You have to tell us. Tell me. I can hardly believe it, but somebody we know rather well. The person we've been looking for is... You know what would suck? If I did a cliffhanger right here. Do it? You want me to end it right here? That would suck so bad, but I can't save it. So, unfortunately, I can't not choose. The person we're looking for... Who said this line? He doesn't have a family, you see, just like me. I've known him since we were kids. It's Simeon Saint. Is it?
Take that!
It has to be the person behind all this. The person who forced Chairman Winner's hand by sending the letter to Rosie Ringer. The person who kidnapped Sean and bugged Kay and myself. The person who did the strangest thing of all. Who drugged Kay and carried her up to the roof of the big building. It was the monster. What? Did you really just say what I thought you said? Yes, the monster. That was the key to unmasking our mastermind. Oh, Musca! We're doing the show soon, we're not going to come soon. Oh, that's right. The very big circus is the biggest, most fabulous event in town. We'll have to ooze the fun. Miss Lloyd, could I ask a favor? Ooh, Lilo me? What kind of favor? You told us you recorded the sound of the Taurasaurus breathing fire. A proof? What kind of proof? Did you capture something on your tape recorder, perhaps? Oh, you're good, Ruffles. I'm Texan, and I'm going to speak like this because I'm from the South. I'm captured the sound of the big old beastly breathing fire when I captured. Most subdued corporate reveal an action without having guessed it in advance. I mean, I'm just like going it through my head. I'm like, yeah, actually, because he's got a monkey that like puppets his actions, and that monkey has been described multiple times as being evil every time it shows up. So, you know, the monkey did it. Sure did. Like I said, I didn't precisely see the guy, but boy, did I hear him. Can we listen to the tape? Sure can. Let's see now. That's it. That's the sound. It must be what I think it is. My theory has to be correct. The truth about the monster, the identity of the person behind all this, it's all falling into place. Miss Hart, you saw a giant eye at the window of the storeroom, did you not? Yep, snap me up a picture too. If you can't rightly see it too well. We can't see it right now, but... Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir? Your image analyzer, can we borrow it again? Oh, sure, sir, but what do you want to look at, sir? This photograph right here. Gotcha, I want it. The clue we're looking for must be here. We must have to find it. Who wants to bet that as soon as we zoom in, it's like going to just suddenly appear? Oh! Nothing there? Oh!
Eureka!
Let's... See, I done told y'all, Taurasaurus is dang self. Yes, there it is at last. The monster commanded by the architect of this whole scheme. Monster? If I'm ready to admit it that he's dang real, the big bad bull himself.
Objection!
The room of infinite bullshit. It really is. Everything just happens in that room. No, because that isn't Taurasaurus at all. It's the eye of a different giant beast entirely. Take a look at this, if you would. The very big circus flyer. Oh, wait, look! You see it? The enormous lion balloon? That's the real monster. And the sound Miss Lloyd thought was the creature breathing fire. Ah, come on. You're really going to bring me crashing down to Earth like that? Well, that's how a balloon fly, huh? They burn gas to make hot air. They do. And our culprit was able to use that balloon to carry Kay up to the roof of the big building without ever going near the elevator. So, this culprit, they've got something to do with the circus? Circus worker? Venom monster? Son of Gusto? Whoa, you're not serious. You forgot to mention trainee animal tamer. It's hard to believe. But he's the one who's been pulling the strings this whole time. Money the monkey! That's right. Simeon Saint is the one behind all this. Simeon? But everything? Really? I don't believe you. We trusted him, and he trusted us. You can't tell me that it was all lies. That would be too horrible. I'm sorry, Kay. Who's that? Please run with the money bit. Hey, where do you think you're going, old man? Nothing skips you, does it, little young pup? My congratulations, Mr. Edgeworth. But now that I know the truth, my business here is done. What? No, Mr. Canis, wait. The dog was the dog clipped into me. Damn it, he disappeared. Are you okay, Mr. Edgeworth? Don't worry, I'm fine, but I'm covered in slobber. Damn you. Are you alright, Sean? He killed my dad, he did it, right? There's no easy way to say it, but... Sorry, Sean. It would appear that he did. He won't get away with it. I'll make him pay. You're 12 or 13 years old. You can't do shit. Somehow, some way.
Overruled.
No, Sean, you mustn't say such things. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. You'll have to forgive us both. I will do no such thing. You're going to prison. Oh, let's call out, sir. All the units are on the lookout for Mr. Caddis. I don't mean to hurry anybody, but we better get on our way too. Well, Miss Prosecutor, where do you think we'll find our mastermind? I suppose you're right. We should go after the mastermind right now. He said he had to practice for the show, which I guess means he'll be at the circus. But before we leave, there's something I'd like to ask of you, Agent Lang. Thank you. Thank you for the bless you. There is? What? Once a beast has been sighted, the next step is to plan its capture. When we arrive, there's something we'll need to try and find as a matter of priority. A detective, I'd like you to look into something that's been bothering me about Sean's kidnapping. Oh, yes, sir. I want to help too, Mr. Edgeworth. Good. There's somebody I'd like you to try and contact. If Saint really is our mastermind, we're going to need this person's help. Is it going to be Regina? Between our many encounters, I never suspected a thing, even though he was right there in front of me. I messed up. There's no other way of putting it, but I'm going to put things right once and for all. To be continued? To be continued, yeah! And that's where we'll end. Later, or latter, the mastermind's true face. How much is left for this, by the way? Is it just this last part, or is there 2 parts? Because that would mean that we could do 2 streams. If it's just 1 stream, then I would have to plan for something else to happen for the Thursday next week. But with that is where we'll stop for today. It's big. Okay. All right. That is where we'll stop for today. Thank you all for watching, everyone. Hope you all enjoyed. It was a big twist today. It was Simeon all along. I knew there was something wrong about him because he had a monkey, and Money the monkey has always been proven to be evil, and he's the real mastermind behind it all. We just get there. Simeon's dead. The monkey standing over him, all bloody. It's like, ah, you have found me at last. The monkey can talk? Yes, I can always talk. But we shall pick this up next week, Tuesday. Corporate conversation on the way, and that's it. Okay. But yeah, so be sure to tune in next week, Tuesday, for this, so we can see what happens and find out the truth of everything and why it is that the sun seemed to always go evil, even though they had nothing to do with it. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. As usual, if you haven't already, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, bell notification to get notified of any next streams. If you like what I do and help support me, stick to Patreon and tips. And if you do become a patron, you get to the Patreon list here, where I give you a shout out of every stream, like I do with Hirukuni, the Stormmaster 37, and Rafaton 2000. I thank you for the support. I greatly appreciate you all. I throw your names and stuff. And we also find out that Money was the real killer all along. We have to go capture him so he doesn't do it again. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. Well, I'm unsure of what's going to happen tomorrow because we finished Hades. So I don't actually know what's going to happen. I might just have a day off. I don't know yet. So be surprised. But until then, y'all take care of the rest of the day. And I'll either see you tomorrow or I'll see you all next week, Tuesday. Until then, bye everyone.